In this video, we are going to see the method of drawing the perspective view of a cube. So in this question, the side of the cube is being given and the position of the cube is also mentioned. About the position, it is stated that it is having one of the square faces on the ground with one of the vertical edges touching the PP. PP refers to picture plane. In some of the questions, you can expect that the question is being stated in the question it is being stated as PP instead of picture plane. And all the vertical square faces are equally inclined to PP. For a square, as the included angle is 90 degree, if it is equally inclined to PP, then that means both of the edges will be at an angle 45 degree to PP. Okay, that means 45 degree to picture plane. And the station point is also given, and just like in the previous problem, here also the position is being mentioned towards the left of the center. Okay, you can see it is also towards the left. So you have to start the drawing in such a way that you have sufficient space in the left area, and you have to end up with that portion by moving on with the rest of the dimensions that is given in the question. So initially you have to draw a PPP line, and you know that how much mm is from the PPP. In the question it is told that it is 35 mm from the PPP. So that dimension is taken later, but while you are starting drawing the question, you have to ensure that there is sufficient space below the PPP line. Okay, this much space is required below the PPP line so that you can locate the points. So initially you have to draw a line, and that line is being termed as PPP line, and then you have to draw the cube. Okay, so for the cube, the top view will be a square, and as it is equally inclined to PP, then you have to draw in this way. Okay, and you have to complete it. A cube is just like a prism, so you have another square just in the opposite face. So after naming it as ABCD, you have to name the corresponding opposite faces, and that opposite face is referred to as EFGH. The EFGH corners are being marked in the brackets. After drawing this cube, or after drawing the square, which is the top view of the cube, you have, from this point you have to take 15 mm, that is the distance that is being taken arbitrarily. Okay, which is the step number 3. Okay, after taking this distance, you have to draw a horizontal line. This line should be parallel to PPP line. Okay, and that line is to be named as EGP, refers to elevation of the ground plane. On that plane, you have to project from this square, and you have to complete the front view of the cube. And you have to mark the dimensions, 25 here and 25 here. As you're having the one of the corners here, you will be having the center line also visible over here, and you have to mark the faces, ABCD faces over here, and you have to mark the EFGH faces over here. Okay, by using the naming that was stated in the orthographic projections. So after completing drawing the top view as well as front view, the next step is to locate the central plane. The central plane is a plane on which the observer is being looking. So in the question, it will be stated either it is lying towards the left or it is lying towards the right. So just as in the previous problems, here also it is being stated that it is towards left of the center of the cube. Okay, here also the name central plane is not mentioned. Instead, towards left is being mentioned. Okay, so from the towards left of the center of the cube. So the axis line represents the central line of the cube. So this is from this central line, okay, you have to take 10 mm towards the left. So from this central line, you are taking 10 mm towards the left. So from the towards left 10 mm, and from this point you are taking 10 mm, and then you are drawing a horizontal line. This is the horizontal line, and that line is to be named as CP, or the central plane. This is termed as CP. Here you have to write 10 CP, and also you have to mark dimension as 10 mm. Okay, and then the next step, which is step number 5, is to mark the top view of the station point. So how we are going to mark the top view of the station point? For marking the top view of the station point, it is stated that in the question, station point is 35 mm from the PP. You are having the PP line over here. Okay, 35 mm from the PP means above or beyond or in front is not mentioned. Whereas it is only stated that it is 35 mm from the PP. So from the PP line you have to take 35 mm below. Okay, okay. So on the CP line, from this point you have to take 3.5 centimeter, and then you will get a point, and that point is named as S, which is the top view of the station point. And next step, which is step number 6, is to mark the front view of the station point. How you are going to mark the front view of the station point? So about the front view, it is stated that the station point is 45 mm above the ground. So station point is above the ground. So on the CP line, from this point you have to take 4.5 centimeter, and you will be arriving at a point, and that point is to be named as S dash, and this point is S dash, which is the front view of the station point. So you have marked the top view of the station point as S, and then the front view of the station point as S dash, which is step number 5 as well as step number 6. Then the step number 7. Step number 7 is to draw EHP line. So through S dash you have to draw a horizontal line, and that line is to be named as EHP, which refers to elevation of the horizon plane. Okay. Then you have to draw the visual rays in the top view. Okay. So this is point S, and from this point S, you have to draw so as to reach all the 4 corners of the square. You are having 4 corners, and to all the 4 corners you have to draw lines from S, and these lines are being termed as visual rays in top view. Similarly, you have to do the same with the visual rays in the front view also. Here you are having this is the station point in the front view, and you have to draw towards 3 points in the top face. You are having 3 points in the top face, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, you have to firstly draw towards 3 points in the top face, and then you have to draw towards 3 points in the bottom face. Okay, the method is that you have to draw towards all the end points. Okay, so whichever are the points that you are having, then you have to draw. Okay, in the previous question that was a pyramid, so you were also having a central point. Here that is, as it is a prism, you are not having the central point in the top view. That is the only difference. So you are getting 6 lines or 6 visual rays in the front view, and 4 visual rays in the top view. And then the step number 10 is to mark the intersection points of the visual rays in the top view with the PPP line. Okay, so you have to mark it. You are getting number 1 point, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4. After marking the intersection points which are on the PPP line, then you have to draw projection line from all these 4 points so as to reach the front view lines. Okay, so from these 4 points you have to draw projection line so as to meet over to the front view visual ray line in the front view. Okay, so these are the projection line. You have to draw 4 projection lines. Okay, and the first one, this is the projection, this is the intersection point of SA or SE line, and so from this line you have to the line is to be meeting on 2 different points. One is SE dash, and one that is intersecting on SE dash line is capital E, and one that is intersecting on S dash A dash line is capital A. Okay, from SA line, this is SA line or SE line, so the projection line should meet on S dash E dash, which is capital E, and S dash A dash, which is capital A. Similarly, this is the intersection point of the visual ray ESD and ESH. So from this point you have to meet at one point which will be SD and SH, and this point is the projection line that is hitting on S dash, H dash, and this will be your capital H, and this will be capital H, and this will be your capital D. Okay, that hitting on S dash D dash line is capital D, that hitting on S dash H dash is capital H. Similarly, this is the point on BF line, BF, this is the intersection point on BF. From this you are doing a projection line that is intersecting on ES dash, F dash, that is on the same point of F dash, that means capital F, and that is also meeting on S dash B dash, that is the same point as that of B dash. So this will be F and this will be capital B. Then you are having the last point, which is the intersection line of the visual ray SC and SG. One that is meeting on S dash D dash is capital C. One that is meeting on S dash G dash is capital G. Then you have to draw the outside boundaries. This is the outside boundary. Then you are having the outside boundary over here. This is the outside boundary. Then you are having this side, you are having the outside boundary like this. Then here you are having outside boundary. Then here the AD is the outside boundary, and here you are having DZ as the outside boundary. Then you have to identify which is the invisible point, okay, and then you are having the initial face or the top face, okay. Then you are having a line, that is ABCD is the top face and EFGH is the bottom face. So ABCD, so whether AB is a visible line or invisible line. So this is the portion from which the observer is been looking. For the person who is standing from here, the AB line, this is the AB line, the AB line is visible for him. So AB line is to be drawn by using darker lines. Next one is BZ. BZ, for the observer who is looking from here, this face as well as this face, this is BC, this face is visible for him. So this is also drawn by using darker lines. Okay. Then you are having the base portion, and before that you are having this line which is BF. BF, this is the BF line. This is the BF point. For the observer who is looking from here, BF, this is visible. So this is also to be drawn by using darker lines. Okay. Then you are having 3 points, which is EF, EH and HG. EH, for the person who is looking from here, EH is not visible, so EH is to be drawn by using dotted lines. Then you are having HG, for the person who is looking from here, HG is this plane and the HG is far away from this plane, so HG is also not visible, so that is also to be drawn by using dotted lines. And then you are having one more point, which is HD. This is HD. Here HD is this point. For the observer is looking from here, HD is far away and that is not visible. So it is evident that 2 different lines, that is this line, this particular point, and this line completely. These 2 lines are completely visible. This and this are not visible. So this visibility is to be considered only after drawing the outside edges. After drawing the outside edges, then you have to look for the internal edges, whether that is visible or not visible. For doing that only, you have to look from here. So that's how the perspective view of the cube is to be drawn. Thank you.